Hello, guys. This is Dr. Zhu. Thank you so much for coming on to the now upcoming season 4 of Thrive Bites podcast. We are here. This is a brand new season. We are super, super stoked. And we are live. Hopefully, you guys are seeing us through Facebook, YouTube, and also LinkedIn. We are super excited for this season. We have a broad and diverse array of guests for this upcoming next few months, and they're already on a waiting list. So we're super excited. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Colin Zhu. I am double boarded in family and lifestyle medicine. I am been the host of Thrive Bites podcast since May of 2019, and it's been over 3 seasons now, over 2-year span. And currently, we are, reaching 100 countries. So basically, we have our first guest. I will talk about her in just a sec. Our first guest today, her name is Kiyomi Koike. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And she's a fabulous guest, and she is a green tea expert. And just a little bit of intro for her. So her intro reads, desperate to help her husband survive stage 3 cancer, Kiyomi researched intensively to find a better way of getting the health benefits of green tea. Kiyomi's mission is to share her discoveries with the American folks by offering the purest and simplest form of ground green tea. When asked why green tea, she answers, because green tea powder is the simplest and easiest addition anyone can make to his or her diet in order to improve health. She believes that a small habitual change could also lead to a significant outcome in the long run. So I really, really like that. So without further ado, here is Kiyomi. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me here for the first one for your episode, the season 4. That is just amazing. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a great run, and we're hoping that it'll keep going. And with you and all the future guests, we're just going to continue to up level it. And we're so excited to hear what you have to say. So how this is going to work is we're going to break this up into a couple of parts. We're going to go, into your story. I want to learn the why behind what you do, why you're so passionate about it. Why is it your mission's work, right? I know that you came with a presentation. And then after all that, we're going to open it up to questions. That's the beautiful part about this format during the live stream, is that, we're going to open it up to questions and comments. So without further ado, why don't we go into the why? I like to start off my guests. The first question is, how do you start from point A to point B? What inspired you to get to this point? And really give us a story behind, why green tea?
Well, thank you. That was a great introduction. And hi, everybody. My name is Kiyomi. And my green tea journey started when my daughter was born. And my daughter was just 3 months old. My husband got diagnosed with colon cancer. And I was told 50-50 chance of survival. It was already stage 3 cancer. And I had a 3-year-old boy and 3 months old baby. And I didn't have any job here in a remote area of Oregon. Simply I couldn't find a job. As a Japanese, native Japanese. I am now American citizen, and but with my language barrier, it was hard for me to get the job. So anyways, on top of that, another reason I was really, really depressed about his cancer diagnosis is my father was also diagnosed with cancer, and my mother, thought-free, hid that fact that my father was actually critically ill, and he had only a few months life left. And when I made a report to my mother over the phone, she told me that news, wonderful news. And I was just simply confused that time. But, the second news, when my husband came home and told me I was diagnosed with cancer and we have to go through the treatment. And it was a very, very casual report. But gradually, the reality hit me. And by the time when he was hospitalized, I was in a deep, deep depression. So here I am, alone with my 3-year-old boy and 3-month-old baby. I was totally depressed, and often I was just crying, sobbing. And one day, my 3-year-old boy stood behind me when I was sobbing at night, after dinner in a dark house with my 3-month-old baby in my arms. And he quietly stood behind me and with tiny, tiny hand patted my shoulder gently. And he said, "It's okay, mommy. It's okay, mommy." And at that time, I thought, wait a minute, what are we doing? What am I doing? I'm a mom of 2 young kids. I can't just keep crying. I have to do something. So that is when I thought of green tea. As a Japanese, I knew green tea got something to do with cancer prevention or cancer treatment. So I went to my local grocery store and got so many tea bag teas. And I told my husband, "Please drink this green tea." And at that time, my information said 10 cups a day to get the benefits. So I told him, 10 cups a day, please drink. And in addition to that, in addition to the 10 cups, actually 10 freshly brewed tea bag teas. So anyways, he did it. First day, second day, and third day. I remember we were standing in front of the kitchen sink. And I thought, he was going to make another cup for the day. And then he just looked at me in my eyes. And then, "Honey, I can't do this anymore. I'd rather die." That was another moment. Wait a minute. You can't give it up. So I thought, there's got to be a way to do this better. There's got to be a better green tea, better tasting tea, easier to fix, and more potent. So I started to researched, and then I found out the fact I'm going to share with you in the slideshow today. And based on the fact, I asked my family and my friends, please find this kind of tea in Japan, because I couldn't find anything here in the US. And then I got so many different types of teas, and one of them was the one we are still drinking. And Bill said, my husband said, "Honey, I can drink this. This is easy to make and tasty. I'll drink it." And because he liked it, he drank like 5 to 6 cups a day. And before we actually started, we actually talked to his oncologist just to make sure it's okay. And he said, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and drink it. It's not gonna do any harm for you. But I'm not gonna. I'm not. I don't know if that's gonna do a good thing for you either. But 1.5 years later, when we went back to see him, he said, "Well, you beat the cancer. Your odds were low, but now you're clear. You don't have to come back and see me anymore, but don't stop drinking your green tea." And he went on. I did my own research, and I think there are something going on with green tea. So don't stop drinking your green tea. And of course, we are celebrating, and yes, we get rid of cancer now. We can celebrate. And then we thought about it. Wait a minute, maybe we have to share the discoveries we made with the American folks. So now this is point B, actually. Before I started the actual business, I was curious about how much American folks know about green tea. So I talked to the small business facilitator, and they kindly said, "Okay, go ahead, and you can stand in front of our building and ask questions to people." So I got the permission, and I did the marketing research. And some of the questions were, do you like green tea? How often do you drink? What type of green tea do you drink? What do you know about the green tea? Do you think green tea is healthy? How healthy it is for you? Those questions. And the people are so nice. People are so cooperative, and they answered my questions for me. So I got about 100 different results, and the results were actually, even though they say I like green tea, I often drink green tea, but the frequency is like, once a month, maybe once a week. And the type of tea they drink is like bottled sugary green tea, or at the best, tea bag tea. So that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to go out and talk to people and introducing the very best tea for them. So that is my story, Dr. Zhu.
No, I love it. I love it. I think that's a very, obviously, it's a very personal story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yes.
it affects, your husband, your family, your 2 children. Is he still alive, your husband?
He is still, yeah, very much so. Yeah, he's enjoying the life. He's doing all kinds of things
Good.
he wants to do. He's full of interest, so many interests.
And he's still in remission, pretty much.
So never occurred, no recurrence at all.
Oh,
Whatsoever.
wow.
Yeah.
And does he still drink 10 cups a day, or has he reduced?
Well, a little bit reduced, but I think he still drinks at least 4 cups a day. It's like, first thing in the morning, and then around, lunchtime, and then couple cups in the afternoon. So that's what he's doing. Just because he enjoys it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, there's a lot of great benefits from it. Your husband's a great, case study. I'm glad, he was such a great inspiration for your now current company. To be able to distribute green tea and all the other forms of tea, coffee alternatives and great, products that you have. But let's go deeper into the facts of it. I know you brought us a presentation, so I'm going to share it.
Okay.
And then you could take it away.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Zhu, for the introduction. Another good one. Okay, so I'm going to talk about green tea facts that we discovered? Well, some of them are basics, so you might know already, but hopefully you're going to enjoy this slideshow. If you are drinking green tea for your health, this presentation will tell you the most important things you need to know about green tea. Black tea, oolong tea, green tea are all made from Camellia sinensis, and they naturally contain caffeine. Green tea has two types, loose leaf tea and powder tea. Green tea is rich in antioxidants called catechins, L-theanine, which is a natural relaxant, and caffeine. Green tea also offers minerals and vitamins. Catechins are prominent antioxidants in tea and well studied. Green tea is known for its benefits for centuries. Modern science has confirmed the benefits and has been discovering more. Catechins have 8 subclasses, and EGCG is one of them. EGCG stands for epigallocatechin gallate. That's very mouthful. So we usually say EGCG. EGCG consists of more than 60% of green tea catechins and is most potent. Now, we will look at the benefits. There are many benefits of drinking green tea. Green tea reduces the causes of various diseases. Green tea neutralizes free radicals that damage healthy cells. Green tea slows down aging and supports cognitive health. Green tea is anti-germ, anti-inflammation, and antivirus. On the other hand, green tea promotes many healthful aspects. Green tea enhances calm, sustainable energy. Green tea enhances hormone balance. Green tea increases metabolism, supports repair and growth of bones, and even genes. Green tea supports good mood and memory. Green tea boosts immune system, blood flow to support heart health and healthy cholesterol. Green tea increases insulin sensitivity. All the wonderful stuff in the tea leaf, but brewing leaves doesn't allow you to get all the precious nutrition from the tea leaf. Even if you brew long and squeeze the brewed leaves till the last drop really hard, almost 80% of the nutrition stays in the leaf. When you boil spinach, water becomes green, but you don't drink green-colored water and throw away the spinach because you know most of the nutrition is in the spinach itself. Ingesting a whole leaf in powder form allows you to consume 100% of the nutrition from the tea leaf. If you take only one idea from this presentation, this is the most important one. In addition to plentiful and powerful antioxidants, green tea offers vitamins and minerals. Some of them are not water-soluble at all, such as vitamin A and E. This is another reason to prefer powdered tea over brewed tea for health. If you are drinking green tea for health, using powdered tea makes sense as it offers 100% of nutrition. Also, it makes tea quickly with no brewing time. And maybe later on, I can make a powdered tea right in front of you. So let's see how easy it is. Now, probably a lot of you have heard of shade-grown tea. And matcha is grown in shade for 3 to 4 weeks prior to harvest. So matcha is known as shade-grown tea. On the other hand, sencha is grown in full sun. Now the question. Which tea do you think contains more catechins? Matcha in the shade-grown tea or sencha grown in full sun? The answer is sencha, because it's grown in full sun. Catechins are made from theanine, right here. When the leaves are exposed to sunlight, theanine becomes catechins. And this process requires sunlight. When the tea is in shade, this theanine is converted to catechins. By the contrast, matcha is higher in theanine naturally. Theanine is also umami or savory flavor. And that is the reason tea farmers put the shade over the tea bush to increase umami. When the tea bush is covered, it also increases the amount of chlorophyll to be more efficient for its photosynthesis. Another mouthful word for me. So the chlorophyll is required for photosynthesis, and the tea bush increase the amount of chlorophyll so that they can make enough energy for the growth. That's why shade-grown tea or matcha offers intense bright green, and sencha powder is naturally yellowish green. Some articles out there suggest the intensity of green color is the indication of potency, but that is incorrect. It's one of the many myths about matcha and sencha powder. Sun exposure also affects the amount of caffeine. The more sun exposure, the less caffeine. As shown in the graph, catechin antioxidant amount and L-theanine and caffeine amounts are in inverse proportion, depending on the amount of sun exposure. So matcha is a great source for L-theanine, caffeine, and chlorophyll. Now, what does it mean to your health? That means matcha is great for sustainable energy. It gives you calmness and alertness at the same time. Green tea offers caffeine, but it doesn't give you caffeine crash like coffee does, because green tea offers a natural relaxant, L-theanine. L-theanine increases 3 brain waves at the same time. Beta for problem solving, alpha for relaxing, and theta for a zoned in state. Japanese green tea grown in full sun is called sencha. Sencha is less processed compared to Chinese green tea, which is pan-fired after harvest. Sencha is steamed rather than pan-fired. What it means is sencha offers more catechin antioxidants than pan-fired green tea. Among the worldwide production of green tea, only 10% of the green tea uses sencha method. Sencha in powder form allows you to consume 100% of its nutrition, including catechins. and it's naturally lower in caffeine than matcha. For example, our Sencha powder has 7 times less caffeine than matcha. Because it's low in caffeine, you don't have to choose the time of the day to drink. Also, you can enjoy more than a cup without worrying about the caffeine amount. In fact, if you're drinking green tea for health, you might want to drink more than once a day. Studies have shown green tea antioxidants metabolize rather quickly. This study shows EGCG peaks in blood within 1 to 2 hours after ingestion and fades away quickly. You might want to drink green tea every 3 to 4 hours to replenish fresh antioxidants. Now let's talk about what's the best green tea. The healthiest green tea for you is organic green tea, either matcha or sencha powder. There are a lot of articles talking about how to choose the very best matcha. They often recommend matcha with the greener color and more umami. They say the greener and the more umami, the higher quality. Certainly, that's partly true. These are the two important elements when it comes to matcha quality. But you need to know the intensity of color and umami could have been manipulated by synthetic chemicals and synthetic fertilizers. Because of the manipulation, conventional tea or non-organic tea tends to be greener and sweeter with more umami. But is it healthier? Probably not, as you'd be drinking toxic chemicals. This is especially important when you are ingesting a whole leaf. If you compare colors and umami of green tea products, the first question you want to ask is it organic? Also, the best green tea offers dense nutrition. Organic care for soil allows roots to grow deeper. The long, healthy roots absorb more nutrition. The roots of conventional tea bush tend to be shorter than its organic counterpart. This is another reason organic tea is better for you. This photo is a comparison of organic and conventional tea plant cuttings. Both were cut 2 weeks prior to this photo shoot. The organic one is still green, but conventional tea lost almost all its leaves. Which tea would you choose? Tea with full of life or tea with little life? Lastly, choose green tea with low or no lead. Tea bush absorbs lead from contaminated soil, air, and water. Dr. Greger talks about lead contamination of tea. You can Google Dr. Greger, Greger, lead in green tea, to watch this informative video. After you choose the best tea for you, please store tea carefully. Tea doesn't like sunlight, air, or moisture. If you get tea powder in bulk, take some out and store it in a separate container so you don't have to open the remainder every day. If your kitchen becomes warmer than 75 degrees, you may want to store tea powder in the fridge. Please keep the container out of the fridge about half an hour or so before you open the container because the temperature difference creates condensation around the tea particles. Some medications interact with green tea. Please consult your doctor if you are taking medications. Also, if you are anemic, drinking green tea with meals is not recommended, as tea in general interferes with iron absorption. Sei Mee Tea offers the very best green tea for your health, including matcha and sencha powder. All products are organically grown and tested for lead. We also offer water-processed decaf sencha powder. Visit our website, groundgreentea.com, and click Shop with Referral and follow simple 3 steps to get a special discount from Dr. Zhu. And in order to get the special discount, first, create your account with us. The second step is to choose Dr. Zhu for your referral. You can find Dr. Zhu under the tab of last name P to Z and scroll down to see his smiley face. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And your questions are always welcome. Thank you. Oh, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, great.
That was amazing. That was a really
you.
brilliant presentation. Really, really well researched and thought out. It was just a beautiful presentation. For those of you guys that are unable to watch it with us live or see it as she was presenting, or if you're listening by audio podcast, we will also put the replay of the YouTube presentation in the show notes. So you can always just find it on our channel at TheChefDoc. So, and if you guys are streaming from YouTube right now, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. But thank you so much. I thought that was very comprehensive. And it was, I feel like I have to read that maybe like, 3 or 4 times just to kind of be able to kind of get and absorb the information well, because you just put so much into it. And, it's important for people to understand, what is green tea, what forms do they come in, the differences between the matcha and the sencha is very important, where is it originated and how it's tested. And, and I think, your company that's been able to do that vigorous process, or that's been able to do that meticulousness, is super important, whether they choose your company or at least they have an idea that, you have to go through this standard to make sure that, because, it's important from your standpoint, because you had a live, person, your husband, your spouse, your significant other that was important to you. And so, as well as I do, and I'm sure a lot of, family members and audience members alike, know that food that's created and all the different things that Mother Nature produces is not always the highest quality nowadays. We have things, farming practices like monocropping. We have a lot of demineralization, a lot of mineral depletion. We have the problems of GMO. We have the problems of, organic, non-organic. And so food quality isn't as high as it used to be, as farming agricultural processes have evolved over time. So I really appreciate the vigorousness that your company, goes through in order to give us products that is, good for our body, and we don't have to worry about it as much.
Right. Yes. Because, a lot of people drink tea as a pleasure, but for us, actually, tea is a pleasure now, but at the same time, it was like the source of hope. It was like, of course, my husband went through the all different type of treatments, and we also tried other natural methods too. But anyways, the tea was our hope, and I get to hear from a lot of customers who are doing all kinds of treatments and remedies, and for them this is a life matter, important thing. So yes, we'd love to offer the cleanest possible tea for you, cleanest and most nutritious tea for you.
And how long has the company been around?
We started 2004 Thanksgiving, so it's been 16, 17 years. Yes.
Wow. So, not a beginner.
Not a beginner. I created my own website, like, just one page, manually with the phone connection.
Well, back then the website hosting and the internet was much younger, and
Right.
it wasn't as complicated as it is now. So, I'm definitely kudos to you to be able to, start from a place. And I don't know how saturated the tea market was, but I'm sure it was also competitive, because tea has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and also companies and different products that have been made. So I'm sure there was, at that time still, pretty good competition for you.
Yes, right. So nowadays it's easy for you to start a tea business, and you can buy any kind of tea from tea brokers or tea wholesalers. But the fact is the tea, those kind of tea sellers don't know much about the tea. So hopefully they are selling the right kind of teas and with the right kind of descriptions. And we are not just grabbing whatever available. Obviously, we are very, very selective about the tea farmers, and we work now about handful of the tea farmers. All of them are certified organic, and even though there are a lot of tea out there, only 6% of the Japanese green tea production is organic. And we are still picking up out from that, tiny pond. So we are really picky, selective.
Yeah, because I know food for, the USDA organic process, it's a very rigorous process, and it's also very costly, and it's very expensive. And as a consumer, I think a lot of consumers don't know that, just because there is no seal, that doesn't mean that they haven't gone through an organic process. Maybe they just didn't have the funds to be able to have that seal. So I don't know what it's like for the tea market, but is it the same process, or I would presume you would have to do some international organic standards, right?
That is a great point, Dr. Zub. So, if you're picking up, one product, actually, not one party is involved, more than that, right? So if it's food product, maybe, the seed seller is involved, and then farmers, right? And then if the farmers are using some kind of, organic fertilizers, fertilizer providers, and, the other materials suppliers. And then after harvest, that goes to the facility, and then, wash the process, blah, blah, blah. Everybody needs to be certified organic to have that green logo, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So, for example, our the decaffeinated tea, actually we use certified organic Sencha powder, but the facility to do water process, they don't spend money for the certification, and it's disappointing to me, but I can understand why, because out of that 6% of the organic, the decaffeinated tea is very, very small market size in Japan, especially. So, for them, it just doesn't justify.
And you said earlier that you were able to demonstrate, brewing a cup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So because it's hot now, probably a lot of people are wondering, hot tea. I don't want to drink a hot drink, except for coffee for some reason. But anyway, so I'm going to demonstrate that you don't have to use warm tea to make a delicious cup of green tea. What I have is just regular tea, water. It's actually purified water, but regular water in the sense of temperature. And I'm going to just put the powder. It's about 1.25 cups, 1.25 cup. So I'm going to put a little bit more than 1 serving. That's 1 serving of this, 1/4 teaspoonful. And then the powder is now floating in the water like this. All right, just shake it up.
And you're just shaking it up like that.
Yep.
So people can bring like their own thermos. They can bring, any type of, water bottle and just shake it up, and they can put ice cubes in it if they wanted to, right?
Right. Yep. So if you put the ice cubes in here, they will act like an agitator even. So it works very well. Just shake it up. And if you are using warm water, I wouldn't recommend shake it up. When you open it, it'll explode. So do not shake it up. Actually, when you are making a warm cup of tea, what I do is make a cup first in a cup and stir it, and then transfer it to the thermos bottle. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for that presentation. So, so we're going to move on to the question and answers and a portion of it. And I'm just going to read out a couple of comments. Are you able to see the comments there as well? We have a comment from Kim Schuler. This is actually Dr. Kim Schuler. And she says, excellent presentation. And wow, that story. So glad your husband is okay. Yes. And she actually has a question. Other than changing the caffeine level in decaffeinated Sencha, does it affect the product, and how many oxidants does it have?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so our water process decaffeination is actually patented process, and the patented part actually guarantees the amount of caffeine and also antioxidants. And as you mentioned, the water removes the caffeine along with some of the nutrition too, including antioxidants. And antioxidants, if you compare EGCG, it's about 4% reduction. So if you compare regular Sencha and decaffeinated Sencha, 4% difference in terms of EGCG. So if you compare actually gram to gram, matcha and the decaffeinated Sencha powder, actually decaffeinated Sencha powder offers more EGCG. So that is the fascinating part. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's actually, good for our, consumers that want less caffeine, and they actually have more antioxidants. So that's
right.
That's actually pretty good. That's
exactly.
That's very interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. So some people say, well, because I'm drinking decaffeinated green tea, do I have to drink twice more? No, you don't have to. So you don't have to have a water liquid tummy.
Well, what about this? Is there a limit or too much of drinking green tea?
Okay.
In any form.
In any form. Okay. So if you are drinking organic tea and no lead or low lead, actually you don't have a limit of the number of the cups you can enjoy. And once again, you can visit the Dr. Greg's video, and it talks about it. And if you're drinking a regular matcha, just because of the caffeine, you might want to limit to 5 to 6 cups a day because of the caffeine. And the caffeine limit for daily intake, according to FDA, is about 400 milligrams. So about depending on the matcha, the caffeine amount actually varies too, depending on the sun exposure, but usually about 35 to 70 milligrams. And so you don't want to drink too much overload. Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about toxicity of EGCG.
Yes.
Because the information is out there. Okay, so if you are drinking a regular green tea, the natural form, the tea, not the really pills or the extracted form, liquid or pills, in any form. If you are drinking natural tea, you don't have to worry about that. Before you, okay, I'm going to go back. Okay, read the instruction, please. And please make sure you are not using, amazing amount to make 1 cup. Some person said, well, it was just so strong. And I asked, how much did you use? I poured all the bag in 1 cup. And of course,
Oh my God.
that's too much for taste, and also actually probably not a good idea. EGCG toxicity has a limitation. And if you are taking, I should know the number, but if you are taking the extract form pills or whatever, I believe the number was like 1,000 something or 2,000. Well, I have to go back to you, and maybe Dr. Zhu can insert the answer somewhere. Does that work for you?
Yeah. That works. For your website, are they able to find more, facts, on your your company's website as well?
Yes. We have
Okay.
a lot of information, so please visit our website. And if you go to blog, there are 3 sections: science and facts, recipe, and the culture, about the Japanese culture. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Dr. Jeff, another comment. I'm learning some good things thanks to both of you. So he really appreciates the presentation. Let's do a couple more questions. So what would you say would be the best way of using it? Would you recommend just going seasonally, hot, during, the cooler, seasons and winter time, or vice versa, or just have it hot all year long? Is there, what kind of patterns do you, find, works best in terms of health, right? And what has been the most popular for your customers over the years?
Okay, there are a lot of questions in that. Okay, I'll try. If I miss something, please remind me. Okay, so in what temperature? Okay, so the question about the temperature of the drink, the green tea, what's best for you? Okay, so that is actually depending on your probably body type, I have to say. Okay, and also the climate, temperature. If it's so hot, you don't have to drink, hot tea with, sweating body. Please enjoy cold tea. But at the same time, if you're vegan and if your body type is always cold, you might want to avoid iced green tea, because green tea tends to cool you. So, don't overload. Yeah. Maybe, yeah. But at the same time, for those type of people, if you use hot water, it neutralizes the cooling effect. So that would be a good thing to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And the next question. Okay. So
what is the popularity in terms of, how people consume your tea?
Okay. So our number 1 popular product is this decaffeinated tea, Sencha powder tea, and also regular Sencha powder tea. And probably because people are keen to the health effect and also caffeine effect compared to matcha. Well, we have this kind of matcha, of course, organic and lead free. But anyway, compared to matcha and the Sencha powder, the caffeine amount is this one is like 7 times more. Okay, so when you open up the pouch, probably you notice the difference of the color. Okay, so
your right hand is a little bit darker, it looks like.
Right. Yeah, so this one is matcha, lots of chlorophyll, and this one is Sencha. And because of the media, when someone opens the powder and when they see this kind of color, oh my goodness, this is not good. No, it's not.
Oh, I see, because it's off-putting. It's
right,
not right. Okay.
Yeah. If you know just for example, pug as a dog. Okay, I know dog is a pug is a dog only. And then if someone says Chihuahua, hey, that's not a dog. That's not true. It's just a difference, right? So that's
right. So one of my last questions is, for someone that's a new customer, to you, new to your company, new to your brand and your products, if they had to pick one product to maximize the health benefits that you brilliantly presented to us, what would you recommend to them to be able to maximize the benefits from green tea?
Okay, so if you're not really sensitive, and if you want to enjoy the calm allotness, and then you might want to enjoy matcha in the morning. This is the morning tea for you. And then in the afternoon, if you are like me, I can't take caffeine before I go to bed, at least like 8 hours, 10 hours before the bedtime. And then you might want to get this one, the decaffeinated tea.
The decaffeinated edible green, it looks like. Okay.
Great. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, Kiyomi, thank you so much. I want to be able to respect your time and kind of close out. And, one of the things I love to end, the session with is one of my favorite questions to ask my guests is, what personally helps you to thrive? This is a podcast all about thriving in different aspects of health and wellness. But I like to ask a more personal question to the guests and asking them, what helps you to thrive in your own life. So maybe we can, get a glimpse and, kind of share that and incorporate it within our, lifestyles as well.
Well, okay. So for me, one of the key elements to thrive is go out of the comfort zone. And
go out of the comfort zone. I love it.
It's totally out of my comfort zone. But I think this is a great way to talk to more people and tell the truth about the green tea. So I am going to keep doing it.
Yeah,
yes.
no, for sure. You're doing a great job. And, I'm
you.
sure everyone that's watching, really loves it, and people who already commented. So, we were talking a little bit offline before, the session started, that, it's, in order to grow, we kind of have to go outside of our limits. We have to be uncomfortable, to be able to, make progress. And, I always teach people that it's all about making progress over perfection. And that's the most important thing. So, Kiyomi, thank you so much for being, spending your time, sharing your story. We're very glad that,
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Your company is thriving, and, everyone get some green tea, and we will definitely share that link in the show notes on a replay video if you guys have not been able to join live. And is there what's the website that we can go to come see you?
Okay, so the website is groundgreentea.com.
Yep. Ground Green Tea. I think we have it right here. So okay, cool. Well,
one more thing, Dr. Zhu, before you go. Okay, so ta-da! Okay, so I think green tea should be one of your Thrive medicines. So we're going to go hand in hand. And I'm so glad I got this book. And, Dr. Zhu kindly did special personal sign for me. So it is so special. And this book is so amazing because, you can read through quickly, and then you can enjoy reading one chapter, maybe each day or even just weekly, and do the work. It's a great question. And I'm sure you can, use like, this action steps, like a journal item. When you look back like 3 months ago, probably you are different.
I love it. Thank you so much. I didn't even ask her to do that.
Right. This is a surprise.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's exactly, you know, what we meant the book, you know, to be showcased as. And, you know, you guys could find that on my website at chefdoczoo.com. So, but, you know, this episode is about you. So we will put all the information on the show notes when the video replays. Kiyomi, thank you so much for coming on to.
Thank
you so much for coming on.
This is
thank
amazing.
you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. You know, we are so excited for this upcoming season. Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel for continuous updates. And, you know, please follow Kiyomi and her company. And we are very, very excited. So please say goodbye, Kiyomi. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.